Mr. George,
Yes, sir.
are you ready on your next case? Mr.
Mr.
Greenwald?
Greenwald is here. Both of mine have pre-sentence reports. I don't know if you want Autumn and Dan here.
Autumn is right behind me,
Oh, okay.
and she'll be in momentarily. As I said, we had 7 cases set, which means we have 6 cases to do in the next 55 minutes. So this looks like another no lunch Monday. But Autumn, if you can hear me, you'll join us. This is file 252087 SD. People versus Travis Greenwald. Autumn's office was flooded, even worse than mine.
Matt's was worse than.
And Matt's was worst of all. He deserved it. I mean, his was worst of all. At any rate, this is an operating while intoxicated second offense. The defendant entered a plea. This was bad facts. All the drunk driving cases today are bad facts. He's driving as a postal delivery carrier, drinking vodka out of the bottle, and just a bad circumstance. We have considered him for placement in the sobriety court program. Say we're taking somebody out of the drowning water and pulling them into the boat. Somebody needs to pull you into the boat. Mr. George, what would you like me to know?
Thank you, Your Honor. Well, I think the court hit the nail on the head. There's nothing about the facts of this case that are good. This was a nightmare situation, but I think that my client is trying to see this as a bit of a silver lining for him. As Autumn detailed, there was an incident that happened towards the end of 2024 and 2025. That was another operating while intoxicated case. There wasn't really much that came out of that. My client continues on doing what he was doing, and fortunately, he didn't hurt or kill anyone or himself. And he's here to talk to the court. But I think that the level of addiction that he's dealing with can only be adequately addressed through your sobriety court program. I think he's eager to get that treatment. He went and did a lot of this on his own, calling Pivotal, getting a substance abuse assessment, getting the other required assessments from Autumn. So I think he's on board and he understands. We've had conversations like this before. There's trying to do what you can to get the sentence that you're looking for, but Mr. Greenwald understands that this is really his life. He's got to make a decision on what his life looks like going forward. And I think that he needs to have the tools that this sobriety court can offer in order to adequately address any stressors, any life issues, and just the core of the addiction going forward. So, Your Honor, we'd ask the court to adopt the recommendation. I think it's appropriate and fair. My hope is that he really jumps headfirst into this and engages in the services and takes advantage of them, so that we don't have this type of situation going forward again. Thank you.
Autumn, we'll hear from you first, and then we'll ask Abigail if she has any additional input. You and I have discussed this case. We've discussed it at sobriety court staffing. Bad circumstance, as Mr. George indicated. I couldn't find a driving record in here in the file, and I didn't realize it until this. Oh, there it is. It was the other one. He had that case in Kalamazoo County that was apparently just a probation. I'm not sure what happened in Kalamazoo County, but the violation was October 29th and of 24. And then our incident was October 12th of 2025. but apparently not much happened on a first offense drinking driving in Kalamazoo County,
Just to find some folks.
which isn't unusual. Anyway, you've met with Mr. Greenwald. What's your recommendation here?
He does need sobriety court. He needs a serious intervention. Obviously, we're looking at, just over the 1 year mark. We got our second OWI, which is even more concerning is the fact that he was working and thought it was okay to consume alcohol. That's what's even scarier. So we discussed it. I expressed to him in length what would be required of him of sobriety court. He assures me that he'll be able to complete it, that he states that he wants it. As Attorney George already pointed out, he has already completed the assessment with Pivotal. He's already started treatment with them. He is also in peer support with Betsy, which is phenomenal. He has been attending a 12-step meeting. It was online, but nothing in person yet. He is fully aware that those need to be in person. And as far as I'm concerned, we can get him started in the program tomorrow.
All right, Mr. Greenwald, to some extent, this is a blessing. We don't have enough of the resource to go around. We're about to graduate somebody and tomorrow, and you're about to take their spot. But obviously, I don't need to tell you that this was bad, and things were bad, and you need things to get better. Anything else you want to tell me?
I mean, up until the last couple of years, I was a good citizen. I was a good member of my community. I was helping coach young kids, and I need to get back to that place.
Well, that you describe the people in my program. Everybody in there has at least 2 drunk drivings, and at the core of it, they're all good people with a serious alcohol addiction. But you were driving as a postal delivery carrier with a .273. And that, I say this a lot, makes the hair stand up on the back of my neck. I could just give you a bunch of jail time, but that wouldn't get at what we're trying to get at. So I'm going to put you in the sobriety court treatment program and consider this to be a gift.
He wasn't just drunk, he was delivering mail, drinking vodka straight from a bottle, with a blood alcohol level nearly 4 times the legal limit. The judge said the facts were terrifying. Instead of only throwing him in jail, the court chose sobriety court, calling it a gift and warning that this was his last chance to save his life.
I'm going to order 180 day, 24-month probation, 180-day jail sentence, credit 1, and 179 days to do. Of the 179, 185, 175 are deferred. You got 2 weekends to do, which will be scheduled by the probation department. Fine is 0. There's enough other stuff to pay. There's a $75 crime victims' rights fee, a $50 state minimum fee, $100 screening fee, $150 attorney fee, $960 probation oversight fee. Was there a police reimbursement in
Yes,
here?
$200 to share.
Oh, there it is. I see it. Thank you. And there's cost to be in sobriety court. Let's add what we've got up. You did pay a $500 bond. 125 plus 100 plus 150 plus 960 plus 200. They're coming in out of that back door as part of the remediation from the flood, so that buzzer will probably keep going off. 1535 sobriety court. I'm going to be in your business for the next year or so. As a condition of sobriety court, you're going to participate in 12-step recovery, AA, in the rooms, or AA live, or other program like Celebrate Recovery or some of the other Life Ring or others. Most of our people are at AA, and they're doing a good job. And the ones that remain successful remain in AA. You're gonna do individual counseling and treatment. You've got peer support with Betsy, which is already encouraging. You're gonna see me every 2 weeks. Tomorrow at 2:30, you're gonna be here live. And we'll meet everybody else. You're gonna meet the guy that's graduating. Who's done a lot of hard work in the last year. And then we'll get started. It gets easier as it goes on. Autumn, where do you want to meet with him?
I'll meet with them outside or in the hallway in the conference room.
All right. All right, Mr. Greenwald, I think we're gonna be in a better place a year from now than we were at this time. And there's reasons why you were doing this. We're gonna get at the reasons. All right, you have any questions?
I think, well,
All right, I'll see you tomorrow. There's a lot to do in sobriety court, especially at the first part. But your first session will be live. And after that, you can appear by Zoom. And will he be at Spencer's Group tomorrow night too? All right, we're gonna hit the ground running. We're gonna get you in the program. All right, you're good to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Moore had to be two places at once. And rather than ask Cass County to come here and Zoom there, he came there and Zoomed here. So, Mr. Comer, would you come forward, please? I'll just keep that, I guess. This is file number 252225SD, People versus Levon Comer. That's you, sir? Mr. Comer has a tracheotomy and he speaks with the aid of an electronic vocalizer. And so far, I've been able to understand everything that he has to tell me. His lawyer, Mr. David Moore, is here with us by Zoom. Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Abigail Stoll is here, and Matthew Huff is here remotely. Mr. Comer was charged with operating while intoxicated, pled to impaired driving. There was also a charge of failure to yield, and I'm not sure what happened to that charge. Let me look. File number here is 252225SD. Mr. Moore, what would you like me to know?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. My client is an older man. He's obviously manifestly had an issue with cancer. Hopefully he stays in remission. I'm aware of no violations while he's been on bond. We've asked him to get a private assessment and then follow through with the victim impact panel. He's done so. I don't think he has started the recommendations from the assessment, the private assessment. But I believe if we asked him to, he would complete it. Again, based on communication with him and his attitude towards these things. I had a chance to read over the sentencing recommendation from Mr. Huff. I appreciate the time that, and the knowledge that he put into that. My recommendation would be probation, fines and costs, and 10 days deferred. I know the probation agent has asked for 10 days with 6 deferred, but I would ask for, again, probation for a year, fines and costs, and 10 days deferred, Your Honor. Thank you.
Matt, you have the same concern I have. Mr. Comer has a serious and significant alcohol addiction issue, which he does not acknowledge or address. What's your thought here?
Well, Your Honor, the more I took a look and the more I just kind of reflected on this case, I was alarmed by some of the case factors. To start off on a positive note, I was able to reach Mr. Comer. He used another individual to help, have that conversation over the phone. I think the conversation went relatively well, except for the fact that there seems to be potentially some underplaying of a relationship with
Could you
alcohol.
speak up? We're having trouble hearing you.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, I'll sit a little closer. So as the court had kind of alluded to, a little bit concerned about some potential substance abuse issues going on here. When I spoke with Mr. Comer about, how often he uses alcohol, he indicated every 4 to 6 weeks. His blood alcohol content was really high, despite the fact that he was taken to the hospital for a blood draw. He was still almost 3 times the legal limit. And obviously, there's an accident involved in this as well, where he's coming back from White Pigeon from the Tomahawk Bar, and he's coming home at essentially rush hour, 6 o'clock. As everyone's getting out of work, he's on his way back. This is a weekday, so the case facts are bad. I don't enjoy making recommendations for additional jail, especially for individuals who have health concerns. But unfortunately, we've got a bad slew of cases like this where someone could easily die. And this is not Mr. Comer's first go around. He had one in Elkhart about 10 years ago. The police report indicates that through the law enforcement information network, there was an additional one from 1969. I did not retain that on my copy of the criminal history, but I noted that it was in the police report. So I have some concerns about potential substance abuse or alcohol abuse. With that being said, Mr. Comer said he would comply with any terms of probation. The biggest issue for us is essentially he doesn't live in our county. So it makes the recommendation for probation a little bit harder, but he indicated that he would comply with all terms of probation, including some substance abuse, which I believe, substance abuse testing, which I believe touches on protection of society. And I think that's the most relevant sentencing factor here today.
Ms. Stoll, what's your thought here?
I don't have much to add, Your Honor. I believe Matt's recommendation is appropriate, and I would ask the court to follow it.
I'm trying to look at my notes to see what we did with that. Failure to yield. Yes, failed to yield. Impaired. Impaired was a blessing on this set of facts, a .211. You pulled out in front of a semi and you almost killed yourself and the man that was driving the semi. Rush hour in St. Joe County is a lot different than rush hour on Lakeshore Drive. You were out in the country. You blew the stop sign. You were turning south to head back to Elkhart, and you hit this man's semi. He was from Pennsylvania, and you nearly killed yourself, and could have killed him and other people behind there. You had a bottle of whiskey in the car. They didn't say what brand it was or what size it was. I don't know if it was a fifth, a quart, a pint, a half pint, but about a quarter of it was gone. You've been drinking at the Tomahawk, and I'm mad at the Tomahawk because they keep getting drunk driving cases coming out of there. You're drinking Kessler's and Diet Coke, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. October the 28th is a Tuesday. And you say you drink every 4 to 6 weeks. I don't believe that. I believe you drink every day.
No, I don't.
Well, then you got quite a tolerance to get up to .211. And 3 Kesslers and Cokes won't get you to a 211. So you were good and drunk with your blood alcohol almost 3 times the legal limit. And you were going to drive all the way back to Elkhart. That's scary. What would you like me to know?
I know I'm not gonna drink anymore. I feel like I was really lucky that I did hurt someone and that ain't happening no more. I just am not, I haven't had it since.
You haven't had anything to drink since October 28th?
No,
Well, that's a good sign. You live in Elkhart. You'll be 80 on your next birthday in April. And you're not gonna have easy driving privileges. Because of your medical issues, I don't believe they took you to jail. This is impaired driving, and the fail to yield. Fine is $120, and that's due within 30 days from today, which will be February 26th. It's on the inside flap here. 25X46068 681. I don't know why the civil infractions have such long numbers. That's the fail to yield. There's a $300 fine, $75 crime victims' rights fee, a $50 state minimum fee. I'll cut the screening fee in half for 50. I had a bunch of pens that don't work. There is no attorney fee. Matt, was there a police reimbursement here?
There wasn't one indicated in the police reports that I received from the prosecutor's office. It was Michigan State Police, and there was an accident with a blood draw.
All right, I'm gonna do MSP, $200.
The judge admitted jail would be easy but useless. What mattered was stopping the addiction before someone died. With a second DUI and dangerous behavior on the job, the court stepped in hard, mandatory treatment, constant supervision, and a year of accountability that would be harder than any short jail sentence.
Let's add that up. 300 plus 125 plus 150 plus 200, 775. I'm going to give until March 26th. I looked at this case last week. Also looked at it again with some care this morning. This was almost a fatal accident. You pulled out on a 131 off Indian Prairie Road without stopping at the sign. Hit this truck driver and right front tire, damaged his truck. He wasn't injured. This would have been something else. Someone very near this intersection just got a prison sentence from Judge Stutzman because he killed somebody. We sure have a lot of accidents on 131. You have a previous conviction from Elkhart and a really old conviction, which means theoretically this would have been a felony third offense. Your blood alcohol was 3 times the legal limit, and there was open alcohol in the vehicle. And I believe you're underreporting the amount that you were drinking. Oh, if you hadn't had a drink since, that's a good start. You don't get a get out of jail free card. You get 2 days in jail, credit 0, leaving 2 days to serve, which is going to start right now. You're going to jail. I could have done a lot more than this. I don't want to do a probation. You live in Elkhart, you stop drinking. You've already done the victim impact panel, but you almost killed somebody, including yourself. 2 days is a gift. So you can go with a court officer. You owe the total of $845 on both of these things. First one's due February 26th. The second one's due March 26th. All right, you can go with a court officer. You're going to jail. All right, good luck, sir.